UgandaEyenkya.
Mr. Speaker, when we were being sworn in, we all made an undertaking to defend the Constitution. And then we prayed. Mr. Speaker, Article 208 of the Constitution Article 208 of the Constitution says there shall be armed forces to be known as the Uganda People's Defense Forces. The Uganda People's Defense Forces shall be non-partisan, national in character, patriotic, professional, disciplined, productive, and subordinate to the civilian authority as established under this Constitution. Mr. Speaker, this is mandatory. So I want to draw your attention and the attention of this House to the utterances made by General Muhoozi-Parliament, who happens to be CDF. First, that after his father is a president, no civilian will be a president in Uganda. But two, I hear people who are jeering. Two, that as a CDF, he has now endorsed the NRM chairman for the next presidential elections. These two issues go against the core principles of this Constitution, that a CDF, a military officer, is endorsing a candidate of a political party. But two, is also issuing threats that no civilian will be a president after his father. So the procedural issue I am raising, Mr. Speaker, that the army will not allow, is whether the Minister of Defense must not be asked to account for these statements. We have UPDF officers who are here. Most of the time they are be quiet. They fear to tarnish the name of UPDF. But there is one who consistently breaking all the limitations in the Constitution. So, Mr. Speaker, the procedural issue, because we took the same oath. You remember, even before you became a Deputy Speaker, we all took the same oath and made an undertaking. We shall protect the Constitution. The constitutional order is being overthrown when we are looking on. So Mr. Speaker, can you, using your power, ask government to explain why a particular UPDF officer can be allowed to overthrow the Constitution, announce which candidate to support, and issuing threat to civilian that he will not allow, or the army will not allow a civilian to be a president in Uganda? Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate the matters raised by the Honorable MP Ssemujju. One, I want to say that Article 208, which says UPDF shall be subject to civilian authority, does not take away a right to have an opinion, freedom of expression, the rights and freedoms enshrined in Article.
No, honorable colleagues, honorable colleagues, here we receive opinions. Whether you accept it or not, whether popular or unpopular, this is where someone should stand up freely, okay, and speak. So let's give the Attorney General a chance. He submits, then you can rebuttal. Yes, but now if you don't want him to speak, if you don't want him to express his opinion, and you remember a honorable member has asked me that I should ask government, and I've asked government. This is the chief advisor of government. Where else would I go? So please, Honorable Attorney General, complete your point.
Chapter 4 of the Constitution is one in which the Bill of Rights is enshrined. And at no time does the Constitution tell us that Article 208 ousts Chapter 4 of the Constitution. Being a military man does not put you outside the ambits of Chapter 4 of the Constitution. You retain the right to express yourself. You retain the right to form an opinion. It would be different. It would be different if he was ferrying ballot papers and voter materials for a particular party. And even then, if he has to do it for security purposes under the circumstances, each case would be adjudged based on its facts. I beg to submit.
Since we allowed the Attorney General, we can also hear from the Shadow Attorney General.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. All along I thought I went to the same law school with my Ireland friend until today. Well, I'm not saying that I'm disappointed because he has expressed his opinion, but I think it is vulgarizing a very important matter which one of Sssemujju has raised. That a serving military officer who is at the helm of the UPDF currently comes up and makes statements which not only contravene Article 208 of the Constitution, but also the UPDF Act itself. And an Attorney General comes and defends that kind of conduct as part of the freedoms of expression and opinion, well knowing that some freedoms are subject to the law.
Yeah, just sorry for interruption, Honorable Nwagama. Some of us who now not in social media and all that. Where are these statements? Because there are things being referred to. No, because it seems there are statements which some people have read, some of us have not read. If one could lay it on the table, it would help some of us. Okay? Yes. No, I'm just asking honestly. Because if we take it that everyone is on social media waiting for statements and all that, okay? So if we can lay on table, Honorable Soro, you want to lay your phone on table?
Yes, Right Honourable Speaker. My phone, which has the Twitter official accounts of the CDF.
Please lay, describe your phone and lay. But just Honorable Ssegona said he wants to.
Thank you, Right Honourable. Constitution, a person is innocent until he pleads guilty or until he is found to be guilty. When you passed over the mantle to the executive, and the executive owned up as a fact but defended on the law, I was relieved. The executive, which you were asking to respond, I had expected them to say we shall investigate, but because they knew, they did not undertake to investigate. But owing to the seriousness of this matter, Mr. Speaker, I thought, with your guidance, that the right way of dealing with this would be to refer the matter to an investigation, irrespective of who is involved, because it is about our life, it is about the safety of everybody in this country. It is a matter that should be investigated. I went to the same law school, not only law school, but same high school with the Honorable Attorney General Kafuzi. I am not disappointed, because one core thing we were taught is to express the opinion. And the Supreme Court of this land has ruled in Andrew Mwenda and Charles Onyango Bo versus Attorney General that a person has the right to express even a wrong opinion. I was going to say, outside Parliament, I say even a stupid opinion. But fearing you where you're seated, Mr. Speaker, I opted to refrain. My appeal to you, sir, and to this House, for the safety of this country and everybody, is subject this one investigation, so that we have my brother Kainerugaba to also say I said, I did not say, I was not in my usual moods or something else. So we give him a right to defend himself.
Thank you.
I thank you.
Now, the UPDF has its code of conduct, has its disciplinary procedures. If any member of the UPDF violates their code of conduct, they are subjected to their disciplinary. I have seen generals going there. I have seen senior officers going there. So I don't want Parliament to turn itself into an investigative body where before the institution can utilize its own mechanisms in case there was a problem. In case there was a problem. So really, I am not going to be referring this matter to a committee for investigation. We have a lot of business to handle here. Let us leave institutions to handle theirs. But Honorable Mwagaba conclude.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. As information, okay.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like to give information to my Shadow Attorney General. I was the Shadow Minister responsible for Defense and Veteran Affairs in this Parliament. And the Ministry of Defense, fully constituted, came and appeared before our committee. The Honorable Emisinde-Ssemujju, who was the minister, headed that delegation, supported by the State Minister then, who is now the Minister, Honorable Both, and then the CDF then, Honorable Mbadi, who is here. They came. I put this question to them. I told them that we have a serving military officer who appears to be above the law and is contradicting an act of Parliament. When I began to ask the question, the Honorable Ssemujju immediately felt some cold and rushed out of the committee meeting here in Parliament. The Honorable Oboth immediately took a phone call and said, I'm coming back, literally running away. The CDF who had the command, and I challenged him, and the colleagues who sit on the committee was there, he said, as the army commander, can't you issue orders? The CDF Mbadi said, do not cause me trouble. And said, please leave me alone. So the question we are dealing with.
So why does Ssemujju want to cause us trouble? If that's the issue.
So, Mr. Speaker, so first I want to give that information, but now, Mr. Speaker, you also see that the trouble wants to come to you.
No,
but the issue
I
now.
hope Honorable Ssemujju has heard. Yeah, you've given him good advice.
Yes, but beyond that, Mr. Speaker, in the Act, there are provisions for the minister to make regulations. And there are so many regulations that have been made. The last one that I had and I saw the president launching it was called the UPDF establishment. By law, every regulation made by the minister must come before this parliament so that we can scrutinize to see whether they conform to the spirit and letter of the law that we have made here. That act has not come. But I saw the president and the people who briefly explained say the commander-in-chief, who is given powers by the constitution and the act, has now delegated some powers as a commander-in-chief to somebody else. That is extremely contradictory to what we have here. Because, as you know, the commander-in-chief is protected, he has immunity and etc. I therefore want to request that you prevail over the Ministry of Defense to bring that act here, that regulation, the UPDF establishment, so that we can then interrogate the powers that the policy, the regulation has given to the CDF. He may be acting because the powers are provided in that, so that we can nullify it. Otherwise, one day we'll wake up and then you will find that there is no government elected by the people and someone is prevailing over a government which is unconstitutional. It's a danger that we should take care of. That's the information I'm giving.
Attorney General specific on UPDF establishment.
Right Honorable Speaker, I will send it to Oduru Jonathan, my honorable colleague. Yes, there are regulations made, and if you are concerned that they have not been tabled in Parliament for purposes of perusal, the Ministry of Defense can do that, because it is well within the right of Parliament. Be that as it may, my senior colleagues, the Shadow Attorney General, and my former head boy, the Honorable Ssegona, cannot legally point to any clause in the Constitution that ousts anyone's right, freedom of conscience, expression, and having an opinion. Now, unless if you are telling us that the Constitution has a conflict within itself, which no court has made a pronouncement on, the status quo remains. I beg to submit.
That's how it has been closed. Because I pronounce myself, I pronounce myself twice. Number one, that this is a matter, if it violates any law to do with the UPDF, it has its disciplinary procedures. It will handle. Number two, the official spokesperson of government is here. Okay? Official spokesperson. Is this a government statement? An official statement of government?
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. And thank you, Honorable Sssemujju, for raising the issue. In the government, there is a formal way government officers communicate for that to be an official communication of government. For instance, I speak for government, but I cannot just be at a party and we are conversing, and then you take my conversation to be government policy and so forth. So what General Muhoozi-Parliament commented was just a casual comment, which we do not take. Yes, there is a formal way. There is a formal way through which UPDF communicates.
Point of order, Honorable Seungu.
Minister of Information. Mr. Speaker, sir, on the front bench here, the front bench, it's only one person who is appointed the minister basing on his qualification. That's the Attorney General. And the reason why it's given that kind of attention is because it's going to be a legal advisor of government. Here we are. You, Mr. Speaker, you have stated already that you cannot make a determination in this House because The UPDF has its own administrative structure. Now here we're having a Minister of Information still confirming the same illegality, mischief, that when you say that you have a method of communication as government, and one of your government officials goes out of the method of communication, it becomes illegal. So we have seen sons of first presidents. Obote's son is here.
Your point of
Tito
order,
Okello's
Honorable.
son is here. So the point of order I'm raising, is it in order, Mr. Speaker, for the Minister of Information, who is on the floor, who could come in to give a better remedy that can change and solve the mischief we are seeing, to continue giving it more appetizers on the floor of Parliament. We have seen many members of Parliament who have praised the government, Museveni and his son, and they have lost here. You know what's happening to Atibu Katoto? He was ever shouting here, singing every song about NRM. Where he's looking for Museveni, he can't get him. Go and ask Katoto.
Honorable, your point of order.
So is he in order?
Thank you.
To continue misbehaving because of the things.
Thank you.
He's only got.
Thank you. Honorable colleagues, I guided on this matter, okay? I guided on this matter. Secretary General of PLU, do you, Honourable Minister, I will allow you to conclude.
Thank you. Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. I would just request you, Right Honourable Speaker, that you use your powers and request or ask Honourable Ssemujju to read the message, because he said that this message is on the official account of General Muhoozi-Parliament. Let him read the message, because you cannot challenge something that is not there. The Twitter message that they are talking about, have checked on the account of General Muhoozi-Parliament, and it is not there. So why should we really waste our time on something that is not on the account of General Muhoozi-Parliament?
Now, honourable colleagues, for the UPDF, let's close it from here. Let's close it from here. Honourable Fidra. Yes, Honourable Do. Point of privilege.
Right Honourable Sage, as a member of Parliament and Parliament as an institution, we have, in support of our work, people who are recruited to give the best technical support that they have and they can to this Parliament to function properly. That includes supporting me as a member of Parliament, whether on research or any guidance that is required. I am concerned, and deeply as such, by, I'm going to use about 4 words to describe, and I request that members bear with me. The demotivation amongst the staff within Parliament, the incompetence, if I may, among the technical staff at Parliament, the sabotage coming from the technical wing of Parliament that impedes the ability of this Parliament and us as MPs to do our work. I will refer you, if you look at the quality of the reports that are coming up, sometimes we have had issues. Just reports, you'll find a problem. And you wonder, who are these technical officers who make these reports? If you go to offices, you find people who seem not even to understand their roles within this Parliament. The last example I want to give that borders either sabotage or incompetence. When you, the Right Honourable Speaker, and the Right Honourable Speaker of Parliament, and you, the Deputy, was faced with a question of how to proceed on the censure motion of the 4 commissioners, you sought technical guidance from our technical people here in Parliament, either because of laziness, incompetence, sabotage. All they could do was to go and open the Black Laws Dictionary, and they landed on a word called res judicata, and they put in writing. And then they said, go and tell Parliament that this matter is res judicata. Mr. Speaker, if you look anywhere in the world there is no scholarly work, there is no judicial interpretation, there is no publication that says the doctrine of res judicata is available to Parliament. The senior lawyers are here. Even in your first semester at law school, you will be told it is a doctrine exclusively available to the courts of law. In which circumstances? Where they are sued. Even when it goes to court, court must try it. A judge cannot sit and say on the face of it, this matter is res judicata. It must be pleaded by both parties and its evidence adduced to show. And then in the end, you make that decision. How can then the technical people in this Parliament put the entire reputation of Parliament, your reputation as the Speaker, the Right Honourable Speaker, and even senior lawyers here, including the Attorney General on this side, that a matter that should come on the floor, just go and use a Latin word, res judicata. And we all sit here and accept. Is that not sabotage? And I have lawyers here who are more senior than me, who can come and explain that doctrine cannot be invoked in this Parliament as a bar to any process that comes here. In any case, even if it were to be provoked, it is under Section 6 of the Civil Procedure Act, and all the ingredients are laid there. The parties must have been the same, and they must have gone to a court before. In this case, the movers of the censure motion, including myself, who signed number 1, I was not a party to that court. Secondly, it is exclusively available to all the courts of law. A judge or a judicial officer sitting is the one can. That one did not happen. The subject matters must be the same. And there must be evidence adduced by the other opposite party to show that the matter has been tried and settled. This did not happen. So my issue is it that the technical wing wants to show that this entire Parliament is so incompetent that they just pick a Latin word and just put it there, and then we all accept and agree that now the matter is res judicata? Did we not go to school?
Thank you.
Request, I will receive information, is for your good chair to vacate that decision. To vacate that decision, any other reason can be given. Any other reason can be given, but let Parliament look serious. Let our technical people help us. Let our technical people show that this Parliament is properly constituted.
Buli member wa Parliament ayingira wano kyotandikirako kwe kukwata constitution mukono gwo ogwa ddyo n'olayira nti ngenda kulwanirira constitution yeno buli ayingira wano. Kyembadde muza speaker tuwulya gavumenti oba tusobola okutula wano nga constitution eri mu kumenyebwa. Article 208 eya constitution egamba nti amagye ga Uganda gagenda kubeera nga gali non-partisan, tegawagirako byabufuzi oba munnabyabufuzi wakibiina kyabyabufuzi nga galina empisa. Era article y'emu egamba nti amagye ga Uganda gagenda kubanga nga gafugibwa civilian, gafugibwa abakulembeze abalonde. General Muhoozi-Parliament yalangiridde ebintu bibiri nga bikulu nnyo mu kubeerawo kwa constitution mu Uganda. Ekisooka yagambye nti taatawe bw'anaava ku bwa president teri muntu mulala agenda kufuga Uganda nga si musirikale oba nga si wa poliisi. Ekyo kimenya constitution article 208. Ekyokubiri n'alangirira nti ye ng'akulira amagye mu kalulu akajja agenda kuwagira Yoweri Museveni owa NRM. Emirandira emikulu amagye kwe gayimiridde okuwa ekitiibwa abakulembeze abalonde nga si basirikale n'obuteetaba mu byobufuzi gonna yagamenye. Naye ebyembi ne sipiika naye omuwulidde mu ngeri yakusaagirira n'agamba nti naye atya kubanga komiti baminisita bagamba nga ne CDF yaliko mbadi kwali nti ensonga za Muhoozi bazitya ziyinza obbaleetera obuzibu. Kati ne sipiika mu kusaagirira n'agamba nti Ssemujju owulire totuleetera obuzibu. Kibadde nga kyakusaagirira naye obuzibu obugenda kwereeta bwokka sinze ngenda obuleeta nti omusirikale ayambadde uniform akulira amagye asobola okulangirira nti kitaawe bw'avaako anaddako ateekwa kubeera musirikale oba mu poliisi. Ekyokubiri omusirikale n'alangirira nti ye kalulu akajja agenda kuwagira NRM. Kati constitution ebe evuddewo nga ne wano tumala bumazi biseera maybe kunyumirwamu ng'abali ku talk show. Ebyembi sipiika omulabye ng'asaliriza amagezi adduka ensonga eyagiveeko afune endala zayingizaawo. So kati eggwanga buli omu yetegekera ekiseera ekinaddako because notice Muhoozi gyawadde saawa yonna Museveni asobola okuvaako ng'ekisajja kiweddeko naye asobola n'okufa nga bwolaba wa Tanzania tuyinza okera ku nkyanga Museveni yafudde especially n'emyaka gy'alina kati kakati omukulu alangidde nti oba woofiira oba wooviirako basirikale ffe tuddako.
Speaker agambye nti ensonga zino Minister of Defence bwebanga balaba omukulu ng'akoze ensobi bainvestigating naye si Parliament.
Speaker ayogedde ebintu bingi era naye bw'anaabiwuliriza ajja kwewuunya nga mu ekyo mulimu n'okugamba nti ebintu bya Muhoozi biyinza otuleetera obuzibu n'abisindika eyo nti aba defense mbe muba bitunulamu ate aba defense wano banonangawo ki minisita wa defense anonangawo ki wano oba aba defense bali waggulu teriiyo nsonga mu Uganda nene Parliament gyetakolako teriiyo naye speaker abadde asala amagezi lukwesikwesi lwakudduka ku nsonga eno egenda okuleetera eggwanga obuzibu.
General Muhoozi wagamba bali mu PLU basobola ogenda mu NRM
okusooka Muhoozi n'okuteekawo PLU kyali kimenya mateeka nti omusirikale atandiseewo ekibiina ky'ebyobufuzi n'akubadde si kiwandiise ate nga n'abakulu abali mu gavumenti ne sipiika yennyini namulabayeko nga gyali sipiika wa Parliament Anita Among namulaba ali mu constituency ye ng'agandi Museveni bw'ovaako mutabani we ogwaddako kati otabulwa nti oba basipiika abali wano ne taye bwakizeemu bulungi nti ebyo biyinza otuleetera ekizibu kati Muhoozi afuuse ekizibu buli omu atya omwogerako.
Kati kino kirekawo ssente ezimu ezisaasaanyizibwa mu activities za PLU n'ebigenda maaso.
Eyo ensonga lwaki Parliament erina okutunuulira Muhoozi ebintu byakola ng'akulira amagye ng'oggyeko ssente z'okusasula amabanja n'oggyako ssente z'okusasula emisaala gy'abakozi ba gavumenti ekitongole ekisinga okuteekebwamu ssente y'omusolo mu Uganda kyekya defense tuli mu trillioni 4.5 tayinza kuba ng'agikulira agenda akampeininga ng'agamba ali mu kukuza mazaalibwa ge Parliament netunula butunuzi. Si abantu bajja wano nga balina ebifo mu gavumenti nga byamakulu ne babifula byakuzanyirira oboth Minister wa Defense yakoze omukolo mu constituency ye Ettororo n'ayita Muhoozi Kainerugaba gwateko okusupervisinga ng'omugenyi omukulu yabadde ayise ne Nabbanja n'atajja n'asindika Nakadama Deputy Prime Minister n'ayimirira ku muzindaalo n'agamba Ssebo Muhoozi omugenyi omukulu jangu oyogereko eri abantu abali mu NRM mube emitwe gikyakola nga gwe Minister wa Defense kiringa nga headmaster bw'oyita omwana w'essomero oba prefect nti ajja abeera omugenyi omukulu ku mukolo gwo kati awo wetutuuse oboth yayise Muhoozi Kainerugaba junior we senior amulinaanyi nga ye mugenyi omukulu ku mukolo gwo oboth era kati awo bw'ogamba mubagende banoonyereze nga babadde wali bakuba saluti Nakadama ye yayise Muhoozi okuwogera Prime Minister n'ayita omusirikale Muhoozi mu ranka ya gavumenti nange ali wansi wange tosobola kumpita ku mukolo nga ye mugenyi omukulu n'enzija nebo bataddemu amakooti n'amaboarding ne bagenda.
Weesiimye mattu oli wa mukisa okukira abalala omugugu gw'ebizibu by'ettaka gukutikuddwa Brand Property Services Limited ku lw'ettaka eritaliiko nkaayana ennyumba eziwedde okuzimbibwa wamu n'ez'okupangisa apartments ez'okupangisa wamu n'okugula mu mawanga ag'enjawulo okuli Uganda, Kenya, Bungereza, Dubai, America wamu ne Canada okuddaabiriza ennyumba oba ebizimbe byo property management n'abasaveya abakugu abatakufere twekwate ku nsonga zonna ezeekuusa ku by'ettaka nga kw'otadde n'okugobera ku kyapa kyo kati pazo y'eby'ettaka ebadde kukaluubiriza egonjoddwa bw'okwataganye naffe tukubire ku noti 773-824-79 oba noti 773-206-58 noti oba otusange ku MT House omwaliiro ogusooka room 5 ewazana ku Entebbe Road okuliraana ekizimbe kya Muguluma Empire tukyalireko ne ku website yaffe www.brandpro.co.ug. Brand Pro Property Services Limited tutuukiriza birooto.